In the bustling heart of New Orleans at 1031 Canal Street stood a vacant Woolworth store, a relic from the 1930s that had long since fallen silent. Once a hub of activity and commerce, the building has been empty since the 1990s, becoming an eyesore in a city known for its vibrant culture and dynamic spirit. The community's yearning for revitalization and progress was palpable, and a grand vision emerged to breathe new life into this storied location. A multi-use high-rise that would eventually be known as the Hard Rock Hotel New Orleans. However, this ambitious project would soon become the site of a catastrophic tragedy, raising the haunting question: how could a symbol of hope and renewal become a monument to negligence and disaster? In the early 2010s, New Orleans was in a period of transformation. The city, still recovering from the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, Canal Street, a central artery in the city's central business district, was a prime target for redevelopment. The vacant Woolworth building at 1031 Canal Street stood as a stark reminder of the past, but also as a canvas for future aspirations. In September 2011, the New Orleans City Council voted 5-2 to approve necessary height variances for a new development at the site. The proposed project was ambitious, a towering structure that would include 300 apartment units, a 500-space parking garage, and 40,000 square feet of retail space on the first 2 floors. This decision marked the beginning of an ambitious journey aimed at transforming the heart of the city. Despite the council's approval, the project faced immediate controversy. Some community members and stakeholders voiced concerns about the scale and impact of the development. In February 2018, a new partnership breathed life into the stalled project. Developer Mohan Kailas announced a collaboration with Hard Rock International to turn the building into the Hard Rock Hotel New Orleans. This partnership brought renewed energy and resources, with promises of luxury and sophistication. The project's design, led by Harry Baker Smith Architects II and structural engineer Heaslip Engineering LLC, construction finally began in earnest. The vacant lot, once a symbol of decay, was now a bustling construction site. The new design maintained the already approved height, massing, and general structure of the tower. Inside, plans included 350 hotel rooms, 65-1, 3-bedroom units available for purchase, an upscale restaurant, 12,000 square feet of event space, and a 400-space parking garage. The vision of a revitalized Canal Street seemed within reach. As construction progressed, whispers of concern began to circulate. Workers on the site raised alarms about unsafe practices and insufficient support structures. Some reported their worries to supervisors, but their concerns were largely dismissed. The bustling activity masked underlying dangers that would soon become tragically apparent. Before we continue, it would be helpful if you could support our growing channel by subscribing and liking this video. On Saturday, October 12, 2019, at approximately 9:12 a.m., the bustling construction site at 1031 Canal Street was suddenly engulfed in chaos. Without warning, the structure experienced a catastrophic partial collapse along the North Rampart Street side. The once promising development project intended to become the Hard Rock Hotel New Orleans now became the site of a devastating tragedy. 3 workers lost their lives in the collapse, while dozens more suffered injuries, their lives forever altered by the events of that fateful morning. As the dust settled, investigations into the collapse began in earnest. On April 3, 2020, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, released its findings, unveiling a disturbing truth. The structural engineer responsible for the building's design had failed in their duty. OSHA's report revealed that critical steel bolt connections, crucial for the structural integrity of the building, had been inadequately designed, reviewed, or approved. This egregious oversight ultimately contributed to the collapse that claimed lives and caused extensive harm. In the wake of the collapse and the subsequent revelations of negligence, New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell took decisive action. She called for the entire building to be demolished, recognizing the ongoing danger posed by its compromised structure. The urgency of the situation was underscored by the need to ensure public safety and prevent further loss of life. However, the path to demolition was fraught with disagreement and contention. On January 15, 2020, a petition to demolish 3 neighboring historic buildings was to be considered, but the collapsed building had not yet been removed. The city of New Orleans issued an emergency declaration ordering the demolition of the neighboring structures due to safety concerns. However, a dispute arose over the demolition method. New Orleans advocated for an implosion using explosives while the developer favored a traditional demolition approach. This disagreement further delayed progress and added complexity to an already challenging situation. By April, tensions between the developer and the city reached a boiling point. The developer criticized the city's code enforcement regarding the demolition, describing it as farcical. In June, demolition of the surrounding buildings finally commenced after the developer was compelled to gain court approval for a conventional demolition. However, the process faced repeated delays due to tropical weather, prolonging the agony for all involved. In August, 10 months after the collapse, the bodies of the second and third victims were finally recovered. This bittersweet moment marked a small step towards closure for their grieving families. By mid-December, the towers were finally demolished, and the clearing of debris was underway. The site of so much tragedy was slowly being cleared, but the scars left behind would remain etched in the memory of the city. The immediate aftermath of the collapse was one of shock and grief. Rescue efforts were launched to find survivors and recover the bodies of those who had perished. Investigations were swiftly initiated to determine the cause of the collapse. On April 3, 2020, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, released its findings, revealing that the structural engineer had failed to adequately design, review, or approve steel bolt connections, affecting the structural integrity of the building. This critical oversight had led to the catastrophic failure of the structure. Simultaneously, the legal battle waged on in the Orleans Parish Civil District Court. In the wake of the collapse, a lawsuit was filed against the developer. Architects, engineers, and other companies involved in the construction on behalf of 10 victims. The lawsuit alleged that the design, planning, and construction of the structure were inadequate and posed a danger to the plaintiffs and others. Specific claims were outlined against the developer, highlighting the failures that led to the tragedy. Recognizing the complexities and scale of the legal proceedings, Judge Kern Reese of the Orleans Parish Civil District Court took a significant step in September 2022. He appointed Baton Rouge mediator John Perry Jr. as special master to arbitrate a settlement between a committee of plaintiffs' attorneys. This move aimed to expedite the resolution process and provide compensation to the victims and their families. The appointment of a special master signaled a commitment to finding a fair and just resolution amidst the complex web of legal challenges. The legal actions taken in the aftermath of the collapse underscored the importance of accountability and justice. Felony charges recommended against former city building inspectors and ongoing civil litigation against the responsible parties highlighted the determination to hold those accountable for their roles in the disaster. The appointment of a special master for mediation signaled a step towards closure for the victims and their families, providing hope for a resolution that would address their grievances and provide some measure of restitution. As the legal proceedings continued, the pursuit of justice remained at the forefront. The actions taken in response to the collapse of 1031 Canal Street served as a reminder of the importance of upholding safety standards and accountability in construction projects. While the road to resolution may be long and arduous, the determination to seek justice for the victims remained unwavering. By mid-December 2020, the towers were demolished and the clearing of debris was underway. The site of the collapse had been cleared, but the memory of the tragedy remained etched in the minds of the community. The collapse of 1031 Canal Street serves as a somber lesson in the importance of rigorous oversight and accountability in construction. The investigations, lawsuits, and ongoing appeals aim to bring justice and ensure such a disaster never recurs. As the city continues to debate the project's future, striving to rebuild not just a structure but trust and safety within the community, a lingering question remains. How can New Orleans ensure that the drive for progress and development never again comes at the cost of human lives? If you enjoyed the video, please like it and consider sharing it with others who might benefit. To stay updated with our latest videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support.